wrestling buddies want to be your buddy.
Hey, buddy. Buddy!
You got me mad now.
Yes, it is time to embark on once again another episode of the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast right here on AfterBuzz TV and all over the internets, all over the iTunes, wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching. We really appreciate you all over the world. We're international up in here.
Did you say embark?
Yeah, it's a big episode. We're embarking. You're about to embark on a new journey.
Are you saying embarking? I'm just curious as the word that you're saying.
Yeah, you're embarking on a new journey.
Oh, Lord.
Making words up, bro.
It's true.
Hi, everybody. You can find us on Twitter at WrestlingBuds, Facebook.com/WrestlingBuds. Please like the page. We're ever so close to 2,000 likes. And also, very important, subscribe to us on whatever platform you're listening, and please tell people about us. The only way we get bigger and get more people in the family is by you telling people how great the show is, because we think it's pretty darn good.
True that.
Let's get to it. At Jay Quasto on the Twitter. That man on my far left with a whole bunch of letters on his t-shirt. He's the pride of Houston, Texas, and of the TCU Horned Frogs. Find him on Twitter at CRice17. He beat Chuck Rice.
He's a
Fresh off the Hop Courage Festival, tell us about it.
Dude, it was amazing.
Cool.
What a cool event. Couple thousand people at the LA Memorial Coliseum this past weekend. Got to drink lots of Shiner beer, so I was happy.
I hope you tried other beers, though.
I did, but they had the special White Wing there, and it was awesome.
Shiner's a brand?
From Texas.
From Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I made friends with the reps, so every time I was walking, I was running around like crazy that whole day. But every time I'd run by
the beer in his hand, spilling
he'd
it.
pull me over and be like, hey, come here. There you go. And I'd chug it down and go. So it was fun.
That's how most jobs should be.
I get to see Chuck running around with a full beer trying not to spill. Excuse me.
No, it was a really fun weekend. Made friends with a lot of really cool people out there, a lot of beer reps, a lot of people that came to speak. Got to hang out with Lance, the guy that the whole festival was in honor of. Just very rewarding experience. Very tired. Didn't sleep for 2 days straight, it seemed like. Austin was out there. Thea was out there. Had a good time.
Even after all that beer, you couldn't sleep? That's like the number one thing it does to me.
That's true.
Hey, man, had to work and be places over the weekend, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, I'm glad it was a success. It's great.
Yeah, and just so you know, the Astros still in first place.
That was the top thing we were concerned about.
I was just sitting here wondering, what are the Astros doing? Are they winning?
I don't know.
Losing?
I'm going to see them tomorrow in San Diego, or when this show airs, I'll be in San Diego watching them play, so that's cool.
Okay.
I will care just as much tomorrow.
You should.
We'll be tuning in.
and on the final, go Rockets in their playoff game. Had to. Come on.
We're still talking about
Come
it.
on.
Anyways, the guest of honor. He is about to embark on a journey to Washington, D.C.
See, that sounded right.
As you know, last week he
I'm giving you my 2 weeks notice.
he gave us his notice that he was
Nice.
He was moving to Washington, D.C., and it's very bittersweet. He's still going to be on the show every week. People are tweeting at us as if he's going to outer space or something. He's not going to outer space.
I could.
You
Virgin
could.
Galactic.
That's true.
It's a possibility. 2 years away.
They're a good airline.
Although that test did not go well.
I wouldn't necessarily. Did they have Wi-Fi?
I wouldn't trust going to outer space on an airline called Virgin Atlantic, okay?
Can you imagine if
was
Southwest
galactic.
starts flying to the moon?
Discount to the moon.
You can go for $39.
First bag free.
Yeah.
Bag of air.
They run out of gas halfway through and you have to float. Get there in 9 weeks.
Cue my damn music.
I'm sorry. Find him on Twitter at TheWalkingDale. He be Dale Rutledge.
I got a puppet. I got a puppet.
Stripping for us now?
I don't know what's going on. Bad news. Oh.
What's up,
I just do that in my head all the time normally, and
It's
the mic is hot right now.
It's an interesting day.
I started moving today.
Yeah.
Started packing up. We have movers, and they were maybe the most awesome movers that I've ever met, because they walked in within 5 minutes. They were like, "Okay, we gotta ask, what's with all the wrestling stuff?" Because I got the belt, and there's a picture of me with Vince and all that stuff there. And And the guy was like, he's like, you some kind of celebrity or host or something? I was like, well, I do have a couple of shows, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh man, I loved WrestleMania. I just watched I fell asleep during Raw, but I can't wait to find out what happens.
What's awesome?
Huge fan, the whole thing. So the entire time they were there, they were like shouting out wrestling moves and doing like crazy stuff.
They're like doing elbow drops off your couch.
Yeah, basically, yeah, a lot lot of woo happening.
As long as they took care of those mighty mugs.
Yeah, that was actually, I watched them like a hawk.
Yeah.
Don't mess with my vinyl.
Don't mess with my whatever the hell I'm talking, whatever he's talking about. Don't
Yeah,
mess
you
with
know what. You've seen them. You just don't know what they are.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but yes.
Stuff on the wall. Very fragile.
You movers.
He's very angry about things.
Cash under the table.
Nobody's paying them under the table.
Didn't you pay him under the table?
No.
Oh, well, how do you pay him?
But the company is paying to move everything. I'm not paying
right.
anything.
It doesn't matter!
Look at them trying to make this sound like a shady operation.
I'm sorry.
over
Every
here.
time I've moved, it's been shady and under the table.
Well,
No one's ever
that's how
asked me
you
to
live
move.
your life.
No one's ever asked me to move anywhere. Well, they've asked me to move. They've never offered to move me.
yeah, they just wanted you to leave.
They're like, get the hell out of here.
I wish you died in the womb.
Oh, it's gonna be a day full of fun ones.
Yay!
Yeah. So you're man. By the time we record next week, you'll be gone.
Yeah. I fly on Sunday. The furniture leaves on Thursday, so who's got a couch?
Air mattress.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
You will be. And so what's the plan? The plan is you're still going to be on every week,
Yep.
whether it be Skype or telephone, and hopefully Anson can join in. And This Week in Wrestling will be coming back.
This Week in Wrestling will be making a valid return, triumphant, I would even say.
I can't wait.
Maybe that second week because I don't want to do it right away. I gotta settle in.
That's up to you.
And then
Unacceptable.
they waited this long. You can wait one more week. Yeah, and then we'll just continue on forward. We'll just be I'll be like Booker T.
Yeah.
Except maybe I'll be on here for
More than
longer
him.
periods of time.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'll basically be Booker D.
Right. And he's still going to be he's going to be on the interwebs. You can still talk
You
to
can
him.
still find me.
And actually, I'm not going to be far from you in May. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh. That's a
busy.
relatively close drive.
Oh, you weren't asking me to hang out. Oh, I see. Sorry.
That was basically really cool. You just gave him the equivalent of hearing Forrest Gump when like seats take and can't sit here.
Can't sit here. Well, if you do care, you can come see me at the Pittsburgh Improv
We don't.
Wednesday, May 13th. I'm headlining, and then I'll be there the whole weekend. I'd love to see you. I need the support. So
No, I'll come up.
really?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm like 60-40.
You even considering it is all I need. I'm down with that.
How far is Pittsburgh from D.C.?
I don't know, a couple hour drive, I think.
I don't drive. I say I won't have a car. Will you come pick me up?
Yeah.
You're such a nice guy. You actually would do that.
I fly in red eye Wednesday morning. If I can maneuver it, I will
He's
probably do
gonna
that.
fly into DC and drive all the way to Pittsburgh. Just so you know, Johnny, they're not that close.
I'll take a train. No worries.
Right.
Let's talk wrestling.
But anyways, we wanted to have a special day for you, Dale. So our listeners actually, a lot of them wrote in some nice messages about you.
Oh, that's sweet.
And so throughout the episode, we're going to read them for you. First one is from our old friend Jamie Kennedy at JKH1234. I think that's his Twitter handle the last time I looked.
Yes, I think so.
He wrote a couple of paragraphs, so it's going to be very touching here.
Uh-oh.
And then we'll get into some wrestling.
I don't have these notes. You're
Here's
just
the
keeping
first
these all to yourself.
Look, man, I prepared a special episode for you. Just enjoy it. Here we go.
All right.
Dale. It's hard to write a small paragraph about Dale because I have been a massive fan of everything he's done. The first time I saw him on Raw AfterBuzz, I was hooked on his work. He's whip smart, and without being preachy and stylish, and without being cocky. Most people try to be cool, but some people are just born cool. Dale's even cooler than him. I tell him all the time he's the most fascinating person I've ever met, and that is unquestionably the case. Whether he was talking to a wrestling god like Hulk Hogan or chatting with a regular Joe like myself, he was the same person. He always made the viewer and listener feel comfortable, and he didn't need to do anything, but be himself to do it. The chemistry he had with Johnny, that's me, was natural and dare I say beautiful. How a guy like that talked to 3 WWE World Champs in a few days and also had time to hear my thoughts, hopes, and fears is beyond me. I'd love to tell him good luck as he moves east, but you know what? He doesn't need any. Thanks for the ride, brother. You are much loved and will be missed.
Wow.
That's a good way to start
was
off.
really
Dale.
nice.
It was very, very nice. So with that said, why don't we get into some wrestling?
Thanks, JK.
Let's start talking. What? Oh, wait a minute. We know that music. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined in studio by none other than our best friend on the show, former Ring of Honor World Champion and current head matchmaker for Ring of Honor. Find him on Twitter at McGuinness Nigel. He's Nigel McGuinness.
Wait, we already clapped. Did we already do this?
Very nice.
All right.
Look at this luscious new locks on your head, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Christine Reyes, Sunset Boulevard
There you
styling.
go. Putting her over. Putting her over. We'll put over your hairstyle. Let's do that.
Absolutely.
You want to cut
funny.
our hair for free? We'll put you over.
Her phone number will be available in the video description.
I'll take a free haircut.
You could use a free haircut.
Thanks, Dale.
Oh, yes. I was gonna. Yes, that's fine.
Welcome, my friend.
Nice to be here, fellas. You know, I knew it was going to be your last show, Dale, so I wanted to come in and see you before you left. And
You're the best.
You know, we had some good times. You know,
We did.
We pulled a lot of tweets out for the lads. didn't
Yes, we got some of those tweets out for the lads.
Get your tweets out.
No, we're not doing that again.
we? Really? That's
We
kinda
should.
fun.
It was really fun
Yeah,
to
I really
sing.
like that song.
Yeah.
So what's been going on for you?
LA fights, still pushing forward with that. I've been
Nice.
meeting with a few producers, trying to get some bigger names attached, talking to people within MMA that have an interest in sort of, I mean, you've seen people who are in MMA. I mean, a lot of times people see people like Chael Sonnen, for example, does, you know, pro wrestling promos better than a lot of pro wrestlers.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
Punk's going in the opposite direction, going into MMA from, so there's always been those sort of links, and I'm now trying to sort of find people to bridge that gap.
Nice.
Still looking to get it funded. Didn't get it funded on the Kickstarter, but we got about $76,000.
That's amazing, Nigel. That
Yeah.
really, really is. I mean, it's so hard to raise money unless you're Zach Braff, who's, you know, really.
Dick.
Yeah. he
Oh,
was-
that's not where we're going with
No,
this.
I was gonna say I was trying to not say Dick, but he raised $3 million from it. But he's super famous. So
Wait, are you trying to say Nigel's not super famous, Johnny?
yes, he's famous.
at
My
this
point is,
disrespect here.
it's hard to raise money, and $76,000. That shows how much people believe in the project.
Absolutely, and there was only so much I could show as well. I think that was part of the issue, is I couldn't really give like the full idea out, because you've got to shoot the whole thing to be able to show exactly what it is.
Right.
Yeah.
So even just on that little tentative stuff that I put out there, a lot of people did get it. A lot of people did understand. And now I'm meeting people within the industry that understand there is a place for this within the marketplace.
Yeah.
And so it's just a question of time getting this all put together.
Timing is always a huge thing when it comes to stuff like
Right.
this, and so obviously we're all behind it. And so anytime you want to update us or anything we can do,
Rock and roll.
Rock
Sounds
and roll.
great. Yeah.
and otherwise staying busy. You and I had an interesting day last week. Can we talk about that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Nigel and I had to call 22 wrestling matches in one sitting.
What?
In post.
Wow.
It was
In a row?
Yeah. We started at what, 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
My lord.
I left at 7:30, ran and did a set at the Comedy Store, ran back, and we finished at 2 a.m. Because there was a wrestling event over 2 nights, and I guess the announcers that were live weren't exactly.
Well, they weren't mic'd perfectly, and we couldn't
Yeah.
hear them 100% as well. So it wasn't really the professional level that we wanted the finished product to be. So long story short, me and Johnny had to come in after the fact and do it all over.
Nigel needed
Awesome.
great commentary. Who are you gonna call?
There you are.
I guess whoever the last one who's left available, apparently.
And so we
Johnny
got
was the
done.
first on the list.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite moment was it was almost 2 a.m. and I think we're on our second or third last match, and I was exhausted. We're in the middle of commentary. I start dozing off, and all of a sudden I hear Nigel getting really active on the commentary, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, oh, look at that drop toe hold. And he looks over and sees me falling asleep in the middle of the match, and I felt so bad, but I was just exhausted.
I mean, it's what was that? Probably 7 hours. 7 hours
Yeah.
non-stop of watching wrestling and calling it and trying to be excited and the bits. And it's just. I mean, there was some great wrestling on the show. I don't want to take anything away from it. There was some
Right, but-
fantastic stuff.
7 hours in a row of anything.
Yeah,
A little
absolutely.
intense.
Is there anything you want to do for 7 hours, Chuck?
Eat ice cream.
No,
I wouldn't do
no,
that.
there's not.
All right.
Well, there's one of my favorite moments is there was one of the last matches, and at this point everything was pissing us off, and the one guy was like doing his heel gimmick. He was doing all this heel garbage. He before the bell even rang did like 7 minutes worth of BS, and we're just like, come on, start the match. We were both so pissed off.
I'm looking forward to hearing that commentary.
I think we both said it at one point. Look, can we ring the bell? Like,
All right, 1 in, 1 out. Let's go. Hoping the referee can hear us.
One of many reasons that wrestling shouldn't be 7 hours long.
Yeah, what a time we had.
WWE.
What a time we had. But Nigel, we got some Ring of Honor events coming up. You're going to be in Toronto.
Yeah, excited. Part of the old Global Wars series of events. We've got a lot of the New Japan guys coming in.
Yeah.
Nakamura, going to be huge. And, you know, I've never been to a Ring of Honor show that doesn't blow everybody away. It's still an honor to be involved with them. Still, you know, be the matchmaker and come along and see the boys and just be so proud, you know. I mean, to be able to sit ringside, have the best seat in the house and see some of the best wrestling in the world, it's fantastic, you know. I'll always be grateful for it. And Toronto's a wonderful city. Excited to go back there, have some sushi, and, you know, see the locals.
And everyone's going to be involved. We still have Jay Briscoe holding the title. We got Jay Lethal holding his title, and we have Red Dragon.
Yeah.
And I imagine, I wonder if Nakamura's going to be wrestling for a title, you think?
I don't want to tip my hat just yet.
All right, sorry.
He might know, Johnny. He just might.
All right. You don't got to tell us. I mean, either way, that's the best part about Ring of Honor. You know you're going to get an amazing show. We were all there in Vegas, and everyone was blown away.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, that was my first Ring of Honor show live, actually.
Yeah.
But what a great time.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I think we're now reaching another almost golden era within, you know, Ring of Honor, because a lot of times, certainly from Joe's run as the world champion there, the longevity of the champions was such an integral part of the company, because you didn't really see it in other places within pro wrestling. And now we're seeing it again with Jay Briscoe's title run, Jay Lethal now doing great things as well.
Been over a year.
Right, and Red Dragon as well as the tag champs, going from strength to strength, wrestling all over the world as well, is really becoming a global phenomenon.
And what's great about Ring of Honor is you have guys that have been so good for so many years, like Red Dragon, for example. They've been wrestling all over the world, and they come together, and now a lot of people recognize them as the best tag team in the world, along with like the Young Bucks and guys like that. So they're really getting their just due. Like a guy like Bobby Fish, who's been doing it forever, is now becoming a household name.
Yeah, that's lovely to see. Yeah, it's funny how that works within wrestling, you know. And when you look back, I always remember looking back, you know, in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, where they'd have the top 500 wrestlers, and you'd look back like 5 years ago, and you'd be like, who was number 6 like 5 years ago? And then people come and go so quickly. I guess it's within entertainment in general, isn't it? But certainly within pro wrestling as well. It's amazing how quickly people come and go.
Well, speaking of that, I remember you were like number 8 out of 500 a couple of years. Like a couple years in a row.
What
you were
happened?
like, bam. You know what? You move on to bigger and better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was F. Scott Fitzgerald said there's no second acts in American lives, but I don't believe that's necessarily the case. I think we live longer now, and there are more opportunities provided to us. And I think with LA fights and everything else I'm doing behind the scenes, it can be a very exciting future for me.
Yeah, and I'm excited too, because the stuff you're doing now, it's going to allow us to work together in other facets, which is cool.
Yeah.
F. Scott Fitzgerald, he wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
I know there was a bad joke coming. Speaking of American Lives,
sorry,
Nigel just got his got re-upped, right?
Yeah.
Little green card action.
My green card renewal.
All right.
Yeah, I just, here we are.
Who'd you have to marry?
Put my fingerprint. Don't be ridiculous. I got my fingerprints done, and they took a very nice picture. It was funny. You know what was really funny? My old green card was taken 10 years ago. And
Spiky hair.
Spiky blonde hair.
Oh yeah.
225 pounds. I looked like a gorilla. And funnily enough, like when I gave the card to the guy and he was checking me in, he said, well, who's this guy? Where's he? And I thought he was joking at first. I was like, yeah. And he goes, no, seriously, where is this guy? Because this isn't you. And I'm like, oh my God, am I going to get in trouble? Is that all right? But he said, this guy looks like a wrestler. But literally, that's what he said.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You said, well, it's funny you bring that up.
It's like one of those guys you see on TV. That's what he said.
There you go. Well, you were.
I was.
Well, now you're 10 more years in the old good US of A.
Yeah, you know, it's a wonderful country. You know, I think when people grow up in a different country, they perhaps have an idealistic view of America, because there's good points and bad points that we're seeing, you know, in the country now.
Sure.
But there's still something magical and miraculous and wonderful about the country that will always remain that way. Just the ideology of having dreams and never giving up, and you know, there's something beautiful about that. I'm really excited about staying here and pursuing all the opportunities that American life affords.
It should be like an exchange program, I think. Since you get to stay, he should have to go.
Okay. I will go to England.
Yeah.
You went to England not too long ago, but for a much different reason.
I went to England about a year and a half ago to chase a lady.
How'd that turn out?
Not good.
Well, he's sitting right here next to you, isn't he?
I mean, we had a good time. It was a nice little attempt at me being a hopeless romantic.
You had a good run.
Didn't quite work. I mean, it was fine. We had a couple fun days, but it just wasn't going to work out. And
Like a transitional champion.
I like that you did it.
it was right. Thank you.
I do too. I think life's all about doing those crazy things at the last minute, and because when you're 65 years old and you're grey and you're old and you look back on your life, you'll be happy you did those things. You know.
This is why we're all going to Wrestle Kingdom next year.
I agree. I
Hey,
think we
what
got
was
to
the
do
phone
it.
call I called you about the other day?
Wrestle Kingdom next year.
Exactly.
I think we got to go next year, and I wish I could have those airline miles back. But otherwise, I'm glad I took that.
I like that the airline miles are the real regret of the situation. That means you did pretty good.
I'm an odd duck. Yeah. No, it was. I like England. That's the whole point. But we love having you here, and you obviously can come on the show anytime you want. I know your schedule's crazy, but we should organize a thing where maybe you come on like once a month or something, just to update us and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't live too far from here. I'm starting the second season of the Carbonaro Effect, which is on True TV. I'm the assistant editor on that. So,
Is that about Italian food?
It's an Italian magician.
He's a very, very talented American magician, Michael Carbonaro, and he goes into the general public and pretends to be things and does these amazing effects, illusions, tricks, whatever you want to call it. And it's just a wonderful show. It's, in this era where it's all about like people being angry and mad and all this conflict that we see on reality. It's just a really nice, funny, entertaining show. It's on True TV, and if you watch it right to the end, there's a little bit at the end that has my name. It's amazing to see. Yeah, really exciting.
Well, dude, it's great having you. Thank you for coming in here.
No worries.
To say goodbye to Dale.
Yeah.
And
Wait, is he leaving?
unless you want to stay the whole time. You want to stay the whole time?
I don't mind, fellas. I mean, I'm going to hang around and have a drink with you after the show anyway. So
Well, then stay the whole time. We're going to start talking some wrestling.
I felt like I had something I wanted to ask before we cut. Now I forgot what it was.
Well, we ain't cutting. We're going to keep going.
Oh, yeah.
This is nonstop, bro.
All right, great.
he'll come back.
Let's get into it. All right, King of the Ring. When you...
Oh, I remember. Did you know that Nigel actually had been on AfterBuzz before?
That's right.
I found that out today.
I used to do it when I first came out here. Maria Canellis, God bless her, set me up with his. She was doing some stuff with them at the time, and they said they had a Raw review show every Monday night. So I used to come in here and be part of that show.
Hey.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
We'll have to look it up in the annals of YouTube.
That was it.
In the what of YouTube?
The annals.
Oh.
That was how I met Ryan Clum, who was doing that as well at the time. And then
Replaced by these two?
Clummer Slam.
Clummer Slam. And funnily enough, he was in production at the time and was getting into professional wrestling. He's now, pursuing a
he's
career in
wrestling
that.
now.
Absolutely. And I was going in the opposite direction. It was him who was instrumental in getting me the job as the assistant editor on the Carbonaro Effect.
Oh my God, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Really?
It's funny how things work. It's all who you know. But yeah.
Good stuff.
But it was tough. I couldn't do it for very long. It's one thing to talk about it with your friends or whatever else. I mean, I don't really watch the product as much as I should do if I was going to be talking about it.
Right.
It was kind of why I stepped back and to see a lot of my peers there doing what I felt like I should have been able to do and making the money, while at the time I was really struggling to figure out what was going to come next for me.
Right.
It was just difficult to do. I kind of used the analogy of having it's like an ex-girlfriend that you're okay. Relationships end, you split up, but you don't want to watch her sleeping with somebody else.
That's a great point.
That's just how I felt, and it still is. I don't really watch the product anymore, but really because I'm trying to evolve things. I still love Ring of Honor and I believe in their product, but I think there's a huge gap in the marketplace for a new product to come out there, which is what I'm doing with LA Fights. But
Can't wait.
yeah, fingers crossed.
Good stuff. Well, let's get into it a little bit here. King of the Ring, by the time you listen to this or watch this, it's already going to be over. So we're just going to run it down real
So
quick.
congratulations, Wade Barrett. Bam.
So there's your prediction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we had Bad News Barrett defeated Ziggler with a distraction from Sheamus. R-Truth taking out Stardust, who can't seem to win anything right now.
What is going on with Stardust?
I don't know. They just...
More so what happened to Goldust, but
Yeah.
more prevalently what happened to Stardust.
I don't know. I love the shoulder pads. Otherwise,
It's a great costume.
I got nothing.
Hey, but I'm okay with R-Truth having won that.
No, it's not anti.
Get rid of all spiders.
That's what he's going to do as
That
king.
is true. It's a good policy to
Get rid of all
put in
spiders.
plan. But it's not anti R-Truth. It's just what the hell, Stardust. Did you ever wrestle with Goldust?
Not personally. I was on a couple of shows with him. Yeah.
He seems like a cool dude.
He's a wonderful fella, actually. Yeah, and he's lived it all. He's been through the highs and the lows of professional wrestling. At the peak of its popularity, and obviously coming from the wrestling background as well with his father.
Yeah.
What a life. And I think the last show I did for PCW in the UK, which I think was part of my screening tour over there. Anyway, long story short, he was on the show as well, so I got a chance to sit down and talk to him a little bit. He said some very kind things about me, which was nice. Yeah, lovely fella.
Yeah, he's really he found the Fountain of Youth for a long time, which is really cool.
I think it's called DDP Yoga.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Might be. He gets enough advertisement. We're going to talk about DDP Yoga.
That's true.
Sheamus defeated Dean Ambrose via DQ from Ziggler. He attacked Sheamus, and Neville taking out Luke Harper. So the semifinals, we got Neville versus Sheamus and B&B versus R-Truth. You already have your prediction. You think Bad News Barrett's going to be King Barrett.
I think if we're talking from a character standpoint, Barrett would get the most benefit out of it and could pull it off the best.
Bad news.
Of those guys.
I think he's the most obvious because Sheamus has already done it once.
Sheamus already done it.
Neville's so new, he doesn't really need it.
He could, yeah, because to be King of the Ring, I feel like you're going to have to talk a lot. And I don't know that Neville's really at that point yet.
Well, if that's the case, you know who would be a very entertaining king?
R-Truth.
Get rid of all spiders.
That's my pick.
It would be interesting, but I don't know. We'll see.
That's my pick, just because it would be funny.
Yeah. Then again, there's rumors that we don't know how much longer R-Truth has. He is a little bit older than he looks, and so. But Bad News Barrett's so obvious, though. That's what makes me think.
Why? Just because he's British?
That and the fact that look at the four people. Sheamus already won. We already mentioned about why Neville and Truth wouldn't do it. So Bad News Barrett seems like the blatant one.
Okay.
He would be a pompous king.
But he needs something. They obviously aren't letting him do the B&B thing really anymore. And not just getting rid of the podium anymore. He's just straight up not doing the gimmick for the most part. I feel like he could also get the most benefit of a something new to talk about and tout.
Right.
Like Neville's still new enough that he can just keep on winning and he'll be fine.
True.
You know, Sheamus is super heel. It'd be weird to win twice.
I'll tell you this. and
Has
y'all
anybody won
know-
twice?
No.
I don't think so.
You all know that I am not the biggest fan of Sheamus, but lately I love what he's doing as a heel.
Me too.
It's really entertaining. He's pulling it off well. It goes well with the new look he has.
He's comfortable doing it. He
So-
really enjoys it.
I'm enjoying this version of heel Sheamus.
But do you think that winning the King of the Ring helps that?
I don't think he needs it.
Yeah.
I think really the people that don't need it, you could take Truth out of it. You could take Sheamus out of it. I think Neville or Barrett. I mean, look, jokes aside, I want Truth to
Do you know how
win.
funny Truth would be as a
I
king?
agree. That's why I want him to win. I think that's my pick, only because it'd be hilarious, and the guy can wrestle. He's
he's great.
really talented. When you actually let him have a match, you guys don't forget he is a former world heavyweight champion. I mean, maybe not in WWE, but he's been at the top.
Who do you see in the finals then? Do you think it's going to be Bad News Barrett versus Neville or Sheamus? If everyone thinks Bad News Barrett's going to become king,
I think it'll be Neville that makes it to the end because I think Ziggler is going to mess up Sheamus at some.
I would like
point
to
tonight.
see Neville versus Truth.
sure.
That's the match I want to see from this.
I think Ziggler's gonna distract or get Sheamus DQ'd. You're right. So it'll be Bad News Barrett versus Neville in a rematch from Extreme Rules.
Yeah, or Truth and Neville.
So you're saying Bad News Barrett?
I'm going Truth.
Man. I mean, come on. It's going to be Bad News Barrett. But
I hope so.
I'm going R-Truth. You lose, Dale.
I lose nothing.
Otherwise, let's go over Extreme Rules. Seth Rollins retains. Kane goes apeshit, chokeslams everybody. Rollins hits an SKO. That's how he escapes from the ring. I did enjoy
Also
it.
escapes doing his own curb stomp, so
That's true.
it's a clever way around it.
It was.
I thought. Are they like trying to figure out a good finisher for him, or what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He did it safely, but they have reasons for.
I mean, obviously, yeah, there's reasons, but I wonder if they haven't found the right thing for him yet. That's why we haven't seen anything new.
Don't worry, Justin Bieber will figure it out.
There you go.
It was funny that the crowd got behind that so much, but I think because everyone knows and loathes Justin Bieber in a wrestling audience anyway. So they'll gladly chant that at any heel. Because he doesn't look anything like Justin Bieber. No. There's zero similarities between Seth Rollins and Justin Bieber.
I don't think it was about his looks. I think it's about his whiny, bitchy attitude.
Well, no doubt. And the fact that no one likes him. And I loved how he was that evil laugh and that giggle he had as he was crawling out of the cage. I did actually enjoy it. Like he's almost
that laugh is great, actually.
Yeah, it's like a classic bad guy in a cartoon, the way he laughs.
What was Rollins called when
Tyler Black.
Yes, Tyler Black.
Yeah.
Which
actually you guys had.
He gave you lots of props in the interview that we had with him.
Did he?
Yeah.
A while back. Very kind of him, isn't it?
Well, he said he's like, Nigel taught me how to be a man in the ring.
Yeah, we had one, a match that was heavily featured on my documentary. When I was talking about the art form of pro wrestling, I used a match that I had with him to try and show all the different elements that I felt, went into why professional wrestling is an art form that should be held in the same esteem as theatre or movies or anything else. Such a God-given talent, that guy. I mean, really, just from the first time I saw him in Ring of Honor, these people come along, and you see them, you hear about them when they first come, and you're like, this guy's he's on a skyrocket without a doubt. A guy like ACH, a guy like Adam Cole when you see them as well. And that match that we had, it was a lot of times you have those matches that come out of nowhere, and there wasn't too much build behind it. He was still relatively new. I had a little bit of a run, but it was time for me to start going out there with guys that didn't have the credibility that Aries had and the Dragon had, and trying to make other people as well. And that night was just magical. It really was. It was one of those times where you get to that stage and you think, maybe we just need to switch the script here at the end. Maybe. What a moment that would have been. But I think in retrospect, and I talked to Gabe afterwards, I think he was right sticking it where it was, ending up the way it was, because, Tyler was made that night.
He was like, what, 21?
Yeah, he was super young, 21, 22, something like that. And then we came back and we had to have an hour-long match or something like that. And I remember beforehand having a good idea that, how long it was going to take to get to a certain point, etc., etc., etc. And then we were involving a lot of guys were going to come out and get involved in the match, and the guys coming out, we planned maybe 5-10 minutes, something like that. They were in and out in like 120 seconds. We're like, what? And we'd already got to here, so it was. Oh boy! And that was as much Tyler as it was me trying to keep things moving and tell the story. Is such a talent, aside from just the athletics, the brain, he gets it, and he really does get it.
Now, would you at that moment have predicted that he would be WWE champ?
Certainly would have predicted he was capable of it. And this is the reality within pro wrestling. When people see these guys come up, this could be the next Shawn Michaels. I said that as much about Adam Cole as well. So much in life is up for is a risk, in the sense that you don't know if someone's going to get injured. Right. You don't know if someone in WWE is just going to take a disliking to you, and therefore you'll never have a job there. We know plenty of people who are in that boat as well.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Exactly. So and I don't know, I hope this doesn't come as facetious, but I really do believe that to be WWE champion isn't that difficult, in the sense of there are probably 50 to 100 guys that I've seen within my career that, given the push, if you get behind them, they're a multi-billion-dollar company, they could be very successful, WWE world champions. But how many of them are going to get the opportunity? Right. How many of them are going to get the chance to really go with it when they get the belt put on them in this day and age, where a lot of times people are so dependent upon ratings? And I saw in TNA all the time, when was it, like Friday morning, they'd look at the ratings, and if it didn't go the right way, then they'd change their direction immediately. Wow. So it's a very different era
to the era. Work that way, I think.
Well, I mean, that's it. And you look at the guys, like San Martino had a 7-year run. You imagine 7 years as world champion, and he was still selling out Madison Square Garden at the end.
Things have changed.
Yeah, it's a totally different world. So certainly I think Tyler had all the capabilities to be world champion. But at the time, and you got to remember as well how much this industry has changed in the last 5 or 10 years. Yeah. WWE wasn't touching a lot of guys from the independents. It was like you had the stink of the independents on them, and so at the time they were still going for the ex-football stars, right, or the collegiate wrestlers.
They still do in many
to
facets,
some extent, absolutely. But now, and arguably because of the results of doing that, now they're at the stage where they've got to go with true and tested people like Kevin Steen, etc.
And I think a lot of that is the fan base, because now social media is so huge. The fans already know who is awesome ahead of time and who should be great. That's why that's people like Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Kevin Owens, Adam Cole when he gets his shot, and a guy like Seth Rollins. You look at the three guys from the Shield. Well, the only one that didn't come from the Indies was Roman Reigns, and he's the one getting all this backlash. Partially, it's WWE for just throwing everything at him. But Dean Ambrose, if you look at him on the internet, you'll see just matches you can't even look at because they're so nasty. And then like Tyler Black, that match with you was, I want to say 2007.
I think 6 it was.
Okay, yeah, so it was a while ago, and you see his progression. Yeah. And that was the night he became world champ.
When
against you?
No. I beat him that night.
That's what you're saying. If you're going the other way,
it was a while afterwards. Actually, it was a while afterwards. There was a few changes within Ring of Honor behind the scenes, and so by the time he finally got the belt, was a little bit further down the line.
Got it.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to see any of his current character?
No, as I said, I don't really watch it. I just don't really have that much interest in. I've got so much else on my plate as well. It's just kind of difficult to watch. But with social media, you can't ignore it. It's everywhere. So you hear about it, and every now and again someone will text you, like Moxley texted me when he started doing that lariat.
Oh right.
So
he had a great story about how he was the first sacrificial lamb of that lariat when you came to HWA to work on it. And it was funny listening to him. He goes, "All right, so you're gonna do the honky tonk man bump, and then I'm gonna give you the lariat." And Ambrose was like, "Yeah, I just said okay, and I just did it. Yeah, I felt that.
Yeah, that was good. A lot of those guys that came through there. Sammy Callahan as well was started at HWA. There's the match somewhere on YouTube of me and him. He had to be at least 100 pounds bigger than he is now.
Really? He slimmed down a lot.
Wow. Amazing. Just such a success story. And there are so many of those guys that perhaps maybe will never get that sort of recognition because people don't really come into their career until the latter part of it. I mean, how many times you see guys that had success in WWF in the 80s? I mean, we saw Harley Race there, the King Harley Race. But if you were just a WWF fan, which I was at the time in England, I'd never heard of Harley Race because we didn't get NWA over there, And so there are a lot of people now that I think are in that same boat.
And with social media, you could watch wrestling from all over the world and develop a fan base that way. And Damian Sandow, perfect example. He made his return to Raw last night. The guy's been off and on with WWE for like 13 years, got fired, went to Japan, went all over, came back, and now, after all these years, the fans have finally embraced how good he is, and whatever happened on Raw was interesting. The whole thing with Axel was pretty funny. But the question is, where does Sandow go from here? We don't quite know. It just seems like he's himself. Yeah. And they're banking on the fact that the universe will still be on board.
I watched the Hulu Plus version. I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
You always watch the Hulu Plus.
I know, dude. I know.
Well, either way, he came out and basically kind of mocked Axelmania as himself.
Well, Axelmania interrupted him.
Yes. But it was very similar to the gimmick that he's been doing for the past year and a half or whatever. So my only real fear is that he gets stuck in this like I'm going to imitate every wrestler thing for a while. So we'll see how it goes. But it was very funny last night. I just don't know,
He basically came out and said, as Ms. Dow, I connected with you, and that's the most important thing I could ever ask for. But now I am Damian Sandow. That is who I am. And what's next for me, I don't know. And then Axelmania comes out.
Right.
He clowns him, and then so we don't know what's next for Sandow. We just hope it's a solid feud to where he can progress, because the guy can do it all.
Yeah.
And I just want him to have that opportunity.
Me too.
So
he deserves it.
You're welcome.
Yep. Let's see. We had Cena and Rusev. They had the Russian Shane match. Cena comes out on top, but the story is not over, because at Payback it's going to be an I Quit match. Rusev says America's going to quit, and so will John Cena. So this has lasted longer than we all expected.
I don't understand what the point of continuing this feud is, especially in this direction. There's no way that they are going to have John Cena say, I quit.
That's the thing
And where does that leave Rusev? He is very talented. He has a good look. He can talk decently enough, and he has Lana with him, who can do talking really well.
Well, there's a lot of. It's last night when Rusev came out. Lana comes out playing to the crowd like a baby face, like waving, showing her body, and he screamed at her to get to the back. So,
but they've been kind of on the roughs for a minute.
I don't know how you turn a hot Russian chick face, but it looks like they're gonna be.
I mean, pretty easily, I would think.
I really hope for some reason. I think one of the things that when you look at wrestling and you talk about it like an art form, right? It's that there's these characters that tell stories, and we connect with them because we're with them for a long time.
Big time.
Connect with these characters and see them change and grow over time. John Cena doesn't change at all, and so we can't connect with him.
He loves America now. How dare you?
Great, that's such a big difference from him.
Let me ask you, do you think that in this day and age now you have to have more depth to character? Because if you look at the history of professional wrestling, arguably guys like Hulk Hogan, super successful, and didn't really have too much depth and was just stayed the same.
I think you do need that depth to a character now because our attention span is so much shorter, and wrestling has changed so much.
But you watch a lot of wrestling, though. I think that things like Cena, it's good to have a constant because you leave and you come back and Cena's still a good guy, so you're still into him if you were
for business purposes. Wrestling fans that have to watch every week, they're sick of it. But as far as the business goes, he's the flag bearer, if you will.
Yeah, and I've heard that from wrestlers too.
What does that do for someone like Rusev, who is your future?
He has a feud with the main guy of the company. I don't think it has any downside for him.
I just don't like the I quit aspect of it. Unless Cena really might have to quit for some reason, I don't like the aspect of it because I don't know what that does for Rusev.
You don't think there's a spin?
There might be.
And here's the other thing. You mentioned someone like Hulk Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan was that constant character for so many years, and then when he turned heel, that was one of the most talked about things and still is that ever happened in wrestling. Right. And then when he made that baby face return again later on, that was another huge thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, so you got
he didn't
that
turn
change.
heel. He left the company. It's kind of a different. I don't know if you can really have that same impact.
Hogan often turned heel behind the scenes. So.
Yeah.
Okay, but for the intents of the storyline purposes, the NWO was one of the biggest heel factions to come through wrestling.
Sure. Okay.
But at the same time, that is the exception rather than the norm, because we have seen that try to be done time and time again. It's never worked again. So really, it does speak to the value of having those characters which do stay the same for a long time. Otherwise, any kind of turns, as we've seen time and time again, and we all know what we're talking about, it has no effect.
Yeah. Let's see. A couple more things to mention. Roman Reigns, Big Show, they really brought the house down. People want Big Show to retire. Well, with how great he was in this match, I mean, they destroyed the entire arena. And Roman Reigns, he's building up that credibility by just getting his ass kicked, and I give him all the credit in the world, especially so quickly removed from hernia surgery.
Yeah, I mean, he did a great job.
And his promo on Raw was phenomenal, too.
Yeah,
it was good.
Now he's in the triple threat for the title, so I think it's...
He's taken the heat that he had on him from Royal Rumble and ran with it, and I think he's really started to turn the crowd back in his favor.
Yeah, that was only 5 months ago.
And I'm glad you mentioned titles, because you know who has titles now?
New Day Rocks! New Day Rocks! New Day Rocks!
Our guest coming up in just a little bit, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, Big E. They are the New Day, and they are the new tag team champions. Good on
Yep, I like it.
Yes.
I like a nice heel tag team anyway.
I love the fact that everyone's so pissed off.
Yeah.
I love pissing people off.
And they're working really well together, as we always knew they were, but now they get to actually show it more on TV.
They're allowed to do what the original plan was. And maybe in the grand scheme of things, them being such failed baby faces is going to be a better thing.
I think so. I mean, if this is the route they had to take, it seems all right.
Whatever gets you there.
Yeah. And it's another thing that kind of got made the night after WrestleMania. I think that was kind of a pivotal moment for them as a tag team to
we were there.
The New Day sucks chant, I think, really helped this whole situation happen.
It really did. And it's just, you can tell how much fun they're having with it. And that's the best part about it.
I mean, that's what it is. When you take something and embrace it, you can really turn it into something. There's so many opportunities like that so many people fail to take.
Yep.
Because they don't want to be the hated guy.
That's true. And before we move on to a couple more things, it's time for more touching things about Dale.
Oh, boy.
This is from our old friend Nick Glancy from England, otherwise known as Nick the Compadre, but he changes his Twitter handle 9 times a week, so I don't know what it is. Here it is. Dale, I can't believe you're leaving. It's been a real pleasure getting to know you for nearly 2 years. You've been so entertaining in that time, and you will be missed by everyone. Thank you for everything, compadre. And this is from Ari Wick. He's from Colorado. Dale has been such a huge factor in my love for wrestling. Since day one, he has had many great stories to tell, and he always has a positive outlook on everything. I'll never forget watching SummerSlam when I saw that look on Dale's face. Dale meme. After that Lesnar-Cena match and saying to my non-wrestling friends, OMG, that's Dale! Capital letters. He's a damn star. Thank you, Dale, for the great experience and first year of wrestling, though this won't be the last time we hear from the almighty Rutledge. But until next time, brother, I love you. Ari Wick. We have a few more letters coming up, but that's that for now.
Almighty Rutledge?
Thanks, Ari and Nick. I will start using that as my name on everything.
I'm so glad I didn't tell you I was doing this. It's so much more fun. What a nice little...
Dale, I think you should change your Twitter handle.
Yeah.
We're going to call this one Memorial Rutledge this episode.
Oh, boy. I'm not dying.
Tribute. All right. NXT. Great match this week. I don't know who puts together the matches for some of the NXT
I don't know,
superstars.
Bravo.
Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte.
Amazing.
What a three-way. And the way it ended, Charlotte with the figure four locked in, Bayley shoulders down, Lynch pins her for the win. She's #1 contender. Obviously, they have a lot of creativity, but I don't know who the agent is working with them, but they're doing such an amazing job.
You made that sound so sexual. What a three-way.
Well,
I think that's just you.
yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't pull Nigel into it.
Yeah, don't look at Nigel for reassurance.
He's only one step less perverted
Nigel's
than you.
been in plenty of three-ways. So...
Now it sounds like sexual.
Well, I'm just saying, he's been in plenty of three-ways.
Listen, we had to have something after talking about truffle butter on here last week.
Lord, no, we don't. That was enough truffle butter to last me a lifetime. Yeah. See you, yeah.
It was great. It was fun to watch, and Becky Lynch is going to get that shot.
Isn't it funny? The NXT has been hot for a while, but I feel like Vince McMahon just started watching NXT.
No, I heard that's really true.
Is it?
It is. He went to he saw his first show at WrestleMania, and
He doesn't have the network, surprisingly.
And you haven't noticed like all the little changes since WrestleMania to the NXT
That's
show?
what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah, like he's ruining it.
What do you mean ruining it?
He's gonna ruin it.
So what are the changes that are ruining
He doesn't have time to be that much involved in it.
Let's hope.
I'm just saying they're advertising it more. They're putting a little more out there for NXT, not just to be this underbelly.
Well, you were there. 5,100 people going completely
It was
crazy.
insane. It felt like thousands more than that.
It's undeniable. So maybe he realized,
It was the best part of the entire weekend of WrestleMania for me. That's including WrestleMania, the Raw after. That was the best show.
Yeah, and so he realized, let's put some stuff behind it, but still, hopefully, he'll stay off it as far as his hands-on stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying it seems like it's getting a lot more attention, which is good.
No doubt.
On their side.
And our boy Alex Riley, would definitely want to have him back on the show to talk about this. Him, Kevin Owens. Gotta say, it was mostly all Owens, really. Ended with a power bomb, attacked him afterwards, but saved by Sami Zayn. And
glad Sami's back.
Yeah, they are gonna have a hell of a feud, and I'm so glad to see Riley getting the shot. Unfortunately, it didn't really go very much in his way.
Oh well, but it's with the champ.
Yep.
So if you're gonna be doing it, do it big.
And there's a lot of people on that roster that he would match up well with, and it was nice seeing Ty Dillinger get a shot. He didn't last very long in his match, but he's a very talented guy.
Riley has a stature that a lot of the guys in NXT don't have as well. I think it's good to have somebody who's kind of that like powerhouse kind of guy.
Sure.
That's down there because he can make guys look nice and strong.
And he'll nail a promo anytime.
Yeah.
Which people can learn a lot from. His promos are real. They're heartfelt.
They're some of the best.
Yeah, which is really good. So
He's got the passion.
He does, and that was a really, really great episode of NXT. I mean, we love them all, but that one especially, to see the Bayley Lynch and Charlotte, and I would have said Becky Lynch would have been the last one I would expected to win that. So
she's doing great. If people want to have like an Irish faction come out with,
and she's just drop dead gorgeous. And also, with all the weirdness that's going on with the Divas division, we can't figure out what the hell is going on with the Bellas. It seems like they switched them now because there's just no babyface women. Then why not bring Bayley up? Unless you don't have a plan for it. Bring up someone.
Bayley?
Well, bring up someone to where the Bellas have been catty and bitchy for months. Don't make us believe. Don't force to us that we're supposed to believe they're good now all of a sudden.
I don't know that that's necessarily what they're doing, but
You know,
They wanted to address Daniel Bryan, so
I watched NXT this week and Raw.
Good for you, buddy.
With one of my roommates who's the casual wrestling fan who watches it when I watch it, right? And when he saw the women's match on NXT, he was, that's really good stuff. And then we saw the one that was on Raw this week. With the Bellas and whatever, and he said, "Why is it that every time I see wrestling on the main show, it just looks like a cat fight?"
see, I liked that match yesterday.
And
I thought that was a good match.
But the comparison, like from him being the casual fan, that just says something about what they've got going on in NXT, and further pushes the point that a lot of those women should be brought up, in my opinion, all at once.
It actually has nothing to do with the performers. I think it's the way that they present the divas on the show. I think that there's just as many good workers on WWE right now, but they are telling them they're booking the matches in ways that are more catfighty a lot of times.
Right.
But we're getting a progression at least of where these girls are getting a lot of time. You say what you will about that match. I liked it, but they gave that match a lot of time.
They did. I wasn't saying that it was bad, good, and different. I was just saying his perspective was, that's what's being presented to us on the main roster for the women's division, and it's hard to get behind that sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's been a different kind of match that we've been getting, so I've been a lot more into it. So from a non-casual fan standpoint, I think they're definitely progressing.
And I'd like to see a change. I'd like to see someone from NXT. Some people get brought up to ignite new life, 'cause especially Paige isn't there right now. So
yeah.
And I love what Naomi's doing. She's incredible. But just the Bellas thing is weird. So if you need some baby faces, then bring up somebody.
And I'd love to see Natty get back in the ring more too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She looks great.
She's looking good. All right, before we get into Impact and Lucha, it's time for a few more letters to Dale. Oh. This is from our girl Nuggets. We love her from New York, NYC. What's up, girl?
I like the way you say it.
The best thing about Dale was how professional he always is, and he makes me proud to be a wrestling fan, knowing we have someone so smart and great to represent us.
Oh my goodness.
And the last one, from our friend Tony Griggs. He says, I think one of the best things is his sense of humor about everything. He could always take the shittiest Raw segment and turn it into gold.
That is not related to the segment we just talked about.
No, it was not. But those are all the letters. Thank you to everyone for sending them in.
Thank you, everybody.
Tony Griggs, that was a great way to go home.
Thanks, Tony. Thank Nuggets.
You just cracked me up, my man.
That was... I'm not going to edit him. I'm going to read what he wrote.
Listen.
Yeah. I will say this. We got to move on. We're almost time for Xavier Woods, but let's talk about Impact and Lucha. Impact, really a lot going on. I really enjoyed the episode. BDC destroys the Rising. So these two chicks called the Dollhouse debut. It was very weird. They got themselves DQ'd. They shove a jawbreaker in Christie's mouth after beating her up. And I'm like, what the hell is this? What's going on? There's got to be a point to this, right? Well, then, Taryn Terrell takes on Awesome Kong. They make it a no DQ match. And I'm like, all right, she has no shot. Awesome Kong, we know her. We love her. It's going to destroy her, right? Dollhouse attacks Kong. While she's on the top rope, they start batting at her with kendo sticks as if she's... not Godzilla. What's
King Kong?
King Kong. No, that's They start just like she's in the Empire State.
Her actual name. It's as if she's her actual name.
Right. And they beat her up, and the three of them together throw her through a table, and that's how Taryn Terrell wins. And in the bat of an eye, Taryn Terrell almost becomes a different personality, and it was really well done. And now they're like a faction, which I thought it was great for Taryn Terrell to be happy and smiley all the time and all of a sudden switch personalities like that. I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little more depth from her and character-wise. So I think that'd be a great opportunity because she has owned everything she's ever done, in my opinion.
Her and Gail Kim, amazing matches.
Yeah,
Gail's one of the best in the world, always has been.
Yeah. We got to talk about what EY did on Impact this week, though.
Yo,
EY. EY, what's going on, bro?
Our other friend, Austin Aries, took 2 pile drivers while trying to cash in his briefcase. Not only that, EY attacked Kurt Angle, took off his knee brace. Was it like a figure? I think it was like a figure 4 type thing. He locked in.
Crazy.
He went crazy. Wow. I love it. EY's great.
Talk about a guy that can play both sides of the coin.
That you're right. So many people can struggle to do both. He is one guy that can do whatever you throw at him, he can make it happen, and he is going psychotic right now. Kudos to Aries. He took a pile driver off the steps. Oof. And granted, EY is amazing at giving pile drivers. I mean, he's just a perfect technician.
Yeah.
But Damn.
It looked bad no matter what.
It sure did.
Ewa is one of those guys that I wish we could see on a grander stage.
Yeah.
I really think he would excel in WWE or, even over in Japan. And you know what I mean? Like, I just think he deserves so much more than what he has been given.
And you and EY crossed paths before.
Sure. Yeah. When I was working for TNA, and even before on the Independents, we crossed paths a few times. I remember actually when I was working for Ring of Honor and seeing him at one of the independent shows I used to do at the time, and him talking about TNA, and me thinking, I wonder if I'll ever go there. That sort of thing.
Turns out.
Well, watch the documentary. Always a very talented guy, though. Ever since I first met him, and so always really happy to see him get his push there, and that sort of stuff. I think money-wise, he's got to be doing a lot better as well.
Well, he has 2 other shows outside of wrestling.
Of course, yeah, right.
Yeah. He's
Extreme Catch got canceled. After 2 seasons, but it was still great. Still a good run, yeah. Still a really good run. And yeah, you do talk about your TNA run a lot in the documentary. Where can people buy it?
NigelWrestling.com.
There you go. The Last of McGuinness. If you haven't gotten the documentary, get it. NigelWrestling.com. Buy it. There we go.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. All right, that's pretty much. Oh yeah, great segment with Ethan Carter III. Hashtag EC3 for champ. He basically gives like a political speech and says his goal is to become champion. It's ruined by our friend Mr. Anderson.
Has he not been champ yet?
No,
it's so weird.
He hasn't lost. Oh, it's coming. I think it's coming.
I mean, he had that little feud that started with Kurt too, that they never really got to go anywhere with.
Right? Didn't Kurt get hurt?
And I feel like now is the time for them to revisit that because that was a match I really wanted to see.
Because he's still on his winning streak, isn't he?
He's on his winning streak.
A year and a half of winning or something.
But it's going to take a little bit of time. I think Kurt still has a lot left in him to run as champ. Keep building up EC3. Him and Anderson's going to be entertaining. We know that.
Yeah.
Those 2 are polar opposites. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then we'll see if he progresses from there. So,
all right.
Really good episode overall. Aries still has the briefcase.
That's not Raw. That's Impact.
I'm sorry, Impact. My brain is done. I'm tired. But yeah, really, he has the briefcase, so we're excited to see what happens down the road. Lucha Underground, the Trios Championship, the underdogs, Ivelisse and Helico, Son of Havoc, they win. Ivelisse definitely injured her leg.
Oy.
I believe it was a broken foot. So
yeah,
they're now the Trios champions, but she can't walk.
Bad timing.
Yeah, really
bad timing.
She took a rough fall outside the ring.
When we went and interviewed them, that had actually just happened, and we just couldn't talk about it for a long time. But Wikipedia had updated this information pretty quickly. Even Son of Havoc was like, "Yeah, I went to my page and people are putting things on there that just happened like earlier today." He's like, "I go in and change it, and other people will change it back." He's like, "No, I am the person. Stop changing my shit."
I love that. That's so funny. And also, we saw Daivari for the first time. I don't know what his name is going to be.
He's just hanging out.
And then he got involved.
Yeah.
I think Tejano got thrown into him, and he started beating him up. So it's good to see Daivari, whatever it is that he's doing on the show.
What crazy name they'll come up with for him now.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's gonna be.
I mean, when could you be any more stereotypical when he went to TNA? Sheik Abdul Bashir, come on.
Exactly. But one of the moments that happened in Lucha Underground.
Maybe he liked that name. I don't know.
This might be the defining moment of the show so far. And Helico leaped all the way from the top balcony into the ring to take out the crew. That was when we went to our taping.
That's what everyone was talking about.
People went crazy.
Yeah.
And a guy like that, he might be one of the best athletes we've ever seen. Him and Morrison.
Tall drink of water.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. The way
he's very tall.
Yeah. The way he leapt. Is that a word? Leapt. He leapt off the balcony. Yeah. Incredible.
It is actually.
Never seen anything quite like it.
Awesome. I love Lucha. If you're not watching Lucha, watch Lucha Underground.
You got to. El Rey Network. But with that said, we've been jabbering on for a while now. It's time to get to Xavier Woods, and then we'll say sayonara. We won't say goodbye, but we'll say see you later to Dale Rutledge.
Oh boy.
But right now, it's us. This was backstage about a month ago. It was right before WrestleMania.
Right before WrestleMania.
Us hanging out with Xavier Woods backstage. It's very fun. You'll love it. And so here's us with the new tag team champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, anytime we can have this guy on the show, and anytime he's gracious enough to grace us with his presence, you know we got to have him on. You can find him on Twitter at Xavier Woods, PhD. He is none other than the patriarch of the New Day. You know he's Xavier Woods.
What's going on?
Not much, man.
Xavier Woods on the mic. Let's do some talking.
I thought you were going to ask I'll freestyle if you want to.
I mean, if you want to freestyle, go ahead.
Dale, you know how to beatbox, right?
Oh, sure.
Okay, we're not gonna. That's actually pretty good.
Well, yeah,
it actually wasn't that bad.
It's not going down. Okay, I mean, it's cool.
Pulling it down. Man. You're wiki whack.
That's right.
Anyways, I guess.
What do we talk about?
Well, tell us
whatever.
about
Final Fantasy 14?
We're not there yet. We can't get there yet.
I'll start it off. Since you guys are both going to be at the same event, why don't you start off talking about that? Because you're one of the stars of it.
Oh,
Dragon Con.
Dragon Con.
So Xavier was telling. Are you putting this out there yet?
Oh yeah, I'm the Dragon Con every year. It's not a mystery
I mean
or
your
a
actual
secret.
costumes and stuff.
Oh no. Costumes won't be going
Okay,
out.
so-
Costumes happen if you come see the event or if you see pictures on Instagram.
There you go.
Secrets.
Big things though.
Huge things.
Nice theming.
Huge things. Very semi-naked, per usual.
Of course.
Wrestling inspired, Disney inspired, DC inspired, anime inspired, cartoon inspired.
Mix it all up.
Exactly. All sorts
Put
of
it
stuff.
in a blender.
What are you going to go as, Dale?
I haven't gotten that far. I just found out I'm going to go for the first time.
I'd prefer it if it was also wrestling and naked inspired.
Should be.
Okay. I'd prefer
It's
if
a
you
good
had
way to
less
go.
Ideas,
It's a
but-
good way to go.
Xavier and I have just laid down the gauntlet. Get naked and get wrestly.
Yeah, no pressure.
Well, I mean, I feel like you said it weird.
Yes,
but that's okay.
He usually does. It's a thing, unfortunately.
No, we just have that kind of chemistry, man. I mean,
Hey,
yes.
you guys do you. More power to you.
Yeah. So this is going great.
It's WrestleMania season. Y'all look, we can't really say what exactly is going to happen or what's going to happen because we don't know.
We don't either.
But how does it feel knowing that there's a very good chance you're going to have a WrestleMania moment?
It feels amazing because I haven't had a WrestleMania match so far. I mean, last year I was in the,
You're in the
Battle
Andre,
Royal.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's cool being a Battle Royal, but as far as being in a match where it's not like 30 people, you know? So that'll be cool that New Day will be a part of something. It's awesome. It's always awesome. My parents are going to be coming out and everything, so it's cool to see their faces kind of light up because it's like this is what I've wanted to do since I was a little kid. So for them to be able to come out to WrestleMania, you know, biggest wrestling show of the year, and see like, oh, you know, I wasn't just blowing smoke, and you know, they really appreciate like me continuing to live up to go along with the dream that I had, you know what I mean?
This is why your PhD is taking so long.
Exactly.
I'm glad you brought up your parents because, like, you know, every parent wants to be proud of their son or their daughter for their accomplishments.
Yeah.
But you are on your way to get a PhD.
Yep.
You are a WWE superstar.
Yep.
You are very, very well versed in gaming.
Yep.
And you are very, very well versed and knowledgeable in the whole comic book industry.
Yep.
Do your parents just call up their friends just to gloat out of the blue?
I mean, they don't have to because I feel like my parents' friends' kids call their own parents and gloat about me.
Nice.
So it's one of those things like I wear many hats. You know how some people say jack of all trades, master of none. I'm jack of all and master of most, I'd say, you know?
It's a good combo.
And I also DJ a little bit, teaching myself that. So, you know, might be starting up a...
Are we talking iTunes or you're like actual...
No, like DJ. Like
Okay.
I've got a Tractor S4.
Okay.
So it's not like full like record tables or anything. It's a controller. I work with Machine a little bit, so making some beats. I'm actually currently working on the RPG. I think I talked about this last time. So a little bit further with that process. So I'm got my fingers in a lot of things.
So it's not just like, hey guys, let me break out my garage band real quick.
No, not in the least. Not in the least. I'm also well versed in trombone. Jesus. So I can serenade with a little bit of slide magic, if you know what I mean.
I thought I did, but then you said slide magic.
The ladies know.
You could walk all up in a speakeasy and be like, hey ladies.
Right? You know what? You want some prohibition on you?
This keeps getting weirder.
Good old, not so good old days.
I don't think I'd survive well. You know, I've got a little bit too much of a tan to be walking around back in the 30s.
The opening scene to Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence is always disturbing to me. I love that movie, but the opening scene, it's like, oh, if that's how it was, I feel my white guilt is at an all-time high.
It happens. That's like, what's his name? Jim Gaffigan, I think. Not Jim Gaffigan, sorry. What's his name? Red hair, bald, really funny, has his own show.
Red hair, bald, really funny. What? Red hair.
It's like his third season.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about? How should I not know
He's hysterical.
He's very funny.
He's older. He's got
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. There we go. He's got a bit about talking about how time travel is a white privilege. It's like, if I were to travel back in time, anytime before like the 60s, I'm screwed. I can't go see things. I'll go look into the future and see how stuff's going to be. I'm not going in the past because as soon as I get out of that thing, I'm done.
I'll even say don't go anywhere before 1967.
No, yeah. I'm just going to stay right here.
Speaking of about right here, right now,
yes.
Tell us about your tattoo.
Oh, I got a Triforce tattoo on my left forearm. Power, courage, wisdom. So things that are very important in my life and in the lives of many other children who come up with video games and they're screaming quiet please because they're filming something. But you know, it's something that I've been worried about, or not worried about, but thinking about getting for like the past 2 years, and then finally pulled the trigger on it. It hurt real bad.
It looks like a painful spot.
And so considering that that is a Nintendo-based tattoo, on my other forearm, I would need to even it out and get something Sega. But I'm not positive what I'm going to get yet.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. So if you guys have any suggestions, put them in the comments or let people know. Oh, people are screaming over there.
It's those Ascension fellas yelling again.
Yeah, just yelling, screaming.
They're
like
not
it's
happy.
like it's 1983. That guy's huge. The one walking? Who's that? Jeez.
It's Tiny Lister, who played Zeus.
Oh, that's Zeus right there? What?
Yeah.
I gotta go hang out with Zeus.
Well, he's getting further and further away.
Well, that's okay. I'll catch him next time.
Maybe he's going out to watch the show.
I've worked with him before. Don't look him in the eyes because one of the eyes doesn't move.
Which one?
I forget which one, but one of them's a lazy eye.
Yeah, I just remember in what movie was it with Hogan? No, Friday was really good too, but the movie with Hogan where at the end they fight each other.
No Holds Barred.
Yeah, Holds Barred. Yeah. It's good. On the tip of my tongue. But just watching that and seeing him screaming at Hogan and his eyes are all going all over the place, terrifying.
Yeah.
While we're talking about movies, how excited are you for Suicide Squad? I'm stoked.
I haven't heard about this.
No, the DC movies.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, extremely excited.
So excited, I have no idea what it is.
I was like, what?
You're like, is that a new faction? What's going on?
Yeah, Suicide Squad. What? Oh, no, that's going to be sick. The thing that I love about all of the superhero movies so far is like they're really like putting good stuff into them.
Yeah.
And not just like, hey, here's a movie, whatever. Like, no. Here's a movie that's like true to what this movie needs to be.
And they give you little nuggets in there for fanboys who know, and then if you don't know, it's fine.
It's still cool.
Yeah.
And you're all good. That's like, I know a lot of people aren't. I'm a fan of the Amazing Spider-Man. So like when those came out, it's like they're like, oh, they're rebooting Spider-Man again. I'm so upset. I'm like, I actually really dig it, because they're gonna put more of the villains in there that I'm into. So like, and the other ones are like, oh, here's Venom, and it's like, it's dude from that '70s show who I love.
Yeah,
he's great. But I feel like
Don't know
if you're gonna cast Venom, just cast Brock Lesnar, because Eddie Brock is Brock Lesnar.
It's true.
And then you don't have to put CGI on him. You just put him in a latex Venom suit and have him go crush people.
I don't know that they knew what they were doing at that point.
Yeah, I'm not too sure
By
either.
the third
because
one, they had a lot of question marks.
Once he got the symbiote suit and he's like dancing around and super emo, I'm like, what are you? No, he should be murdering people. This is.
Well, I will say this for DC. They're obviously going to be a little darker. I don't want to say edgier, but it's going to be darker. And Suicide Squad, one rumor is that Onslaught is going to be the main villain because they're a terrorist group to make it modern for 2015.
Okay, I'll take that.
And rumor mill is they're going to hire Deathstroke.
Ooh, I like that too.
Yeah,
I like that too.
I think they rewrote it to make Will Smith a little bit bigger of a role, is what I heard.
Well, the rumor is Joe Manganiello might be Deathstroke, but that hasn't been confirmed or whatever yet.
I'll take that.
That'd be good casting.
I'll take that. Speaking of superheroes and villains and stuff, do you guys watch Arrow?
A little.
I heard it's amazing. I haven't seen it though.
It's sick. It's so good. They're screaming again. Good.
They're very angry.
Yeah, so mad. Need to take some pills or something.
How many times does it take to say "Welcome to the Wasteland"?
Yeah, just say it. Jeez. Welcome to the wasteland.
You're better than all the old teens. We get it.
Yeah.
DC made an announcement. They're going to start doing a crossover series where it's going to be almost like a couple different mini-series of different superheroes.
Yeah.
And they're going to introduce 3 characters that have never been seen before on television or movies.
Ooh.
1 villain, 1 female superhero, and another one. So they said.
So do you go both ways, DC, Marvel? It sounds like.
I do enjoy DC and Marvel. I don't know if I'd say go both ways.
Yeah. The Avengers 2 looks really cool, like really dark.
Yeah.
And
See, I like dark stuff. Not a pun for skin color. But
we'll take it if that's
so.
where
Let's
you're
say the new Power Rangers movie that's coming out.
Yes.
Super stoked. I'm obsessed with Power Rangers. I love them. I want to be the Black Ranger, but I mean, it didn't work out. But then this new Power
They still
Rangers.
haven't said who's in it though, have they?
No, but I mean.
I know Liam Hemsworth was rumored or whatever.
Yeah.
The Hunger Games guy.
So I don't know.
We'll see.
Maybe they'll call me. Hopefully.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's you or Donald Glover. I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, which would be perfect. He can be Spider-Man though.
I think he's missed that boat.
They could just switch him in.
Be on board with the Black Spider-Man. Why
People were mad about it.
They were real mad.
But doesn't he voice the cartoon Spider-Man?
Yeah, and I mean, what's it? Spider-Man is black in the newer comics.
And
What's
isn't
his
Thor a
name?
chick now?
Thor is a chick.
They're changing all sorts of stuff.
DC's going to introduce a Black Wally West to not the cinematic universe, but the TV universe, and it's like, why not? You know?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a person.
Yeah.
And who cares?
My money is actually on Captain America getting killed off and having Falcon replace him as Captain America. Either him or Bucky, one of the two.
Civil War they'll kill him off?
Really?
Wow. That's my guess.
Civil War action. Civil War was sick.
I loved it. I mean, that's the whole reason Spider-Man's back, right? I mean, they really wanted him to be. He's pretty integral.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting off on a tangent as we tend to do.
What were we talking about? I don't remember.
I don't remember now.
Well, luckily, our fans just appreciate the non-wrestling talk too. So it's like we like to veer off on tangents and be human beings.
Who you got any predictions for WrestleMania?
For which matches? Let's see.
I'll take any of them, but
any matches.
How about the main event? Let's start there.
I feel like the fans are going to win.
And he's running for public office later on this year.
Thank you very much, Caster.
Woods for governor 2016.
Oh, my dad and I actually have a great plan. Check this out. So this is another tangent. So he's going to run for governor of Illinois. My dad.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, well, eventually. First, he'll run for mayor of East St. Louis, and then governor of Illinois. I'm going to come back to Atlanta. I'll run for mayor of Atlanta, and then governor of Georgia. And then he's going to run for president with me as his vice. He'll run 2 terms, and I'll run for president with him as my vice 2 terms. And that's my family in the White House for
the wrestling-minded me just wants to start a feud between you guys as like competing governors. I think that'd be great.
Well, see, the thing is that'll happen, and it'll get a lot of buzz going. Yeah. So then when he runs and picks me as the vice, they're like, "Oh my God, they come back together." It's like, see this coming. Like DX reuniting. We're just like, "Suck it,
break it down." No.
Vote for us. Vote for us. So yeah.
This is a long-term plan. It sounds like you've got a long-term plan.
It's been his plan since I was a teenager.
You got to get those goals. You got to see, listeners. You got to reach your goals, plan them out ahead of time. Yeah. He's not just stopping at a PhD. He's not just stopping at being a superstar.
No.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Won't stop. Bad boy. Take that. Take that.
Yeah, because think about it. We're building up clout with people, trying to get a little following going, and then when it comes down to voting for president, everyone's gonna just love us. So it'll be good.
Yeah. I mean, Obama's already laid the groundwork. Kinda. To come up with a new healthcare plan. I'm just maybe.
I mean, there's some things. Every president has some issues,
Yeah.
So
I suggest the walk it off healthcare plan. That's my.
There you go. Walk it right into Canada and get some healthcare.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Can we just go ahead and make that our new citizenship?
It's called the walk it off. It costs nothing. That's how we make money as a country.
How did we get into politics?
I don't know.
We legalize.
This is my fault.
We walk it off. That's what we do.
I was just in D.C. and weed is legal there. You can have it on you, but you can't buy it. Okay. Isn't that a weird stipulation?
So do you like barter trade it for things? So like, I have this Stay Puft coat. I will trade you for what's in your pocket. That's not buying.
I guess so. It's that moment when you hand it off. That's the illegal part.
So what if someone dropped it?
Fine. You're fine. From the moment you pick it up, you're fine.
Okay.
It's
as long as there's
really
no money
weird,
exchange.
There's no money exchange.
That's strange.
I got 5 on it.
I love that song.
Oh, it's a classic.
Let's go have on a sack.
When I would ever make baked potatoes, I would always sing, "I got chives on it."
Oh my God!
I say when I make baked potatoes, I put weed in it.
Yeah, it's like Jesus. You're just putting it out
It's
there.
not that kind of show, guys.
Old Rutledge always baking potatoes twice.
For the record, I do not condone the use of drugs.
Nor do we, actually. Chuck might.
Well, that's kind of been declared on the show about a dozen times.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good Xavier Woods interviews in this show. I think, dare I say, this is the best one.
What?
Wow.
The best.
I don't know. We haven't really talked video games much.
We haven't. We
need to step it up. You got any favorites for the summer coming out? Mortal Kombat, new Mortal Kombat.
MK10, of course. Of course, yeah.
Yes.
It's so sick. Oh my God. Okay, so this is another. It's like a half tangent. Is that Snoop? What up, Snoop Dogg? I'm looking at, hey, for everybody that can't see, because we don't have video right now, I'm looking at Snoop Dogg. And he's got like a thing on his head. It's a red thing, and he's got like Adidas track pants. I have Adidas track pants. I'm like Snoop Dogg.
Should I drop the beat again?
Now, drop the beat.
Drop it like it's hot. We're literally just screwing around right now. Okay, so
Mortal Kombat 10, yes.
So in my cosplay travels, I've seen some awesome stuff. I have like a sick Kano cosplay that I do.
Oh, nice.
So we got a friend who does like a 6 Sub-Zero. I've seen all kinds of things. I met this one chick named Bethany, and she does a Scorpion, and someone was like sending me these pictures of just like MK cosplays, and hers came up. I was like, oh my god, this is like unreal. She got like the contacts, like the whole like headgear and like the swords and stuff, and it's like unfreaking real.
Didn't we see Sasha Banks as some Mortal Kombat character?
Sasha's
was she Katana,
dressed up as Katana.
Yeah,
and it's like cosplay is so good,
and it's so fun,
and it's like a weakness.
You just gotta invest, though. You can't half-ass it.
Some guys are like, oh my god, this girl's cool because she wears Abercrombie and Fitch. She has a Gucci purse.
Who says that?
I don't know, LFO.
Is this 1998?
LFO? After they eat Chinese food? I don't know.
In the summer.
I had one wish.
I think these interviews could be us just shouting out references from our childhood.
I mean, I like LFO. It stands for the light flaky ones. Did you know that?
No.
And then Girl on TV, great song. Shooby-doo-wop and Scooby Snacks. Met a fly girl and I can't relax. The only problem is she's a movie star.
Good talking to you, Xavier. This is
my
good.
friends, they won't believe me if they could only see me. At the risk of sounding cheesy, I think I fell for the girl on TV.
Hanging tough.
So New Kids. We're going New Kids and we're just singing about boyfriends. But yeah.
Wait, so hold on. Before we sing more, Immortals. So I know it's an app game, so obviously a little less involved than Mortal Kombat. I thought maybe we were going to get like a WWE character like Undertaker or somebody appear in Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah.
Since the relationship was there.
Which would be
awesome. Do you think that they would ever do something? I mean, I know probably not with fatalities. And
to be perfectly honest, I may have already asked.
Oh, really?
If I could be like a Kano skin, and they're like, "Oh, Black Kano, that's really woods." Oh. And they said no, because they're like, oh, with the fatalities and the blood, it's not something that like we as a PG product, you know.
It makes sense.
It's a different kind of finishing move.
Different.
It was pretty cool though. I mean, what they did do inside of the game was
freaking awesome.
I love the outfits and all that.
NetherRealms is like an amazing company that to work with. Like they got so many cool ideas and so many different kinds of games that are coming out, and like it's just like a very, very innovative, creative group of people to be able to interact with. And so it was awesome that they took the time to work with us and make that game.
I met Ed Boon one time, one of the creators.
Awesome. Yep.
And I said, me and my best friend, our friendship kind of started from playing Mortal Kombat, just in the putting our quarters up and fighting each other. And he was like, friendship? Yeah. That's so good. I died.
Actually, so I'm buddies with Sal Divda.
Oh, okay.
So he came out to actually one of the shows that we did yesterday, and we're hanging out and talking and everything, and it's just like cool to hear his stories about like Mortal Kombat and NBA Jam and all that sort of stuff, and just like such like a good dude. And
I would love to know who came up with all those secret codes for NBA Jam, where like you could play with Bill Clinton.
Yeah, and like big head mode and stuff. And like, why these people? Why this stuff?
I feel like it's almost like they just were getting high and were like, yeah, let's throw in a big head code.
You know what'd be hilarious? This would be so. What if they had huge heads? Oh, let's do it. Put it in. And then, but like, I feel like that was them doing it for themselves, and then they realized like, oh, the game went out that way.
Oh, that was not supposed to. That's like that hot coffee thing. With
yeah.
I think my dream voiceover gig would be the voice of the announcer on NBA Jam.
Oh, freaking grip, boom, shakalaka, all that stuff. I wish people use those phrases in everyday life.
We could start doing that.
Put the nail in the coffin.
I do. It doesn't work out well.
No?
Yeah.
Oh.
I wonder if it's just you though.
Maybe.
That's why I'm where I'm at. And
maybe
y'all are where you're at.
Maybe you could convince Dana White to do like toasty at UFC fights when knockouts happen.
I need work, so maybe this will happen.
He needs some cash. He needs cash flow. If you guys got any jobs out there, shoot them to him. If you can find anything for him on Craigslist, hook him up.
LinkedIn, Friendster.
Yeah, something.
Friendster,
you can get him a gig at MySpace working with Justin Timberlake. That'll be cool too.
I'll put you in my top 10.
I think he's the only one that still works there.
JT?
With you.
Dude. Well, he's having a blast. Justin Timberlake is the man.
Oh, he is.
Freaking man. He can act, he can sing, he can dance. I mean, not more of the man than Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz is a god amongst men.
Yes.
To be perfectly honest.
Every interview I see with him, he's just like, so cool.
Just so
just
chill.
so laid back.
I feel like Lenny Kravitz just goes in a catacomb and then comes out for the Super Bowl every year and then just goes back in.
Dude, and just sleeps and chills, probably eating nachos.
It's not a bad life.
Like,
who don't like nachos?
When he sang that song with Katy Perry, I was like, why is Katy Perry still singing?
I thought that when Missy Elliott came out, I was like, this should have been reversed. This should have been Missy Elliott show.
You chill. I love Katy Perry. She's great.
I mean, she's great.
Great. But when you put Lenny Kravitz out there and have him singing a song like that, and like his voice is so clear, and he's just jamming with his guitar, and there's fireworks. He's got the nose ring and the glasses, the aviators, just getting it.
Meanwhile, Left Shark is like, wait, I forgot what I'm doing.
Yeah, right? But Lenny Kravitz is like my idol, so that's.
And he's almost 50 or something. He's really getting up there.
Man.
He looks great.
Right? Well, I mean, they age a little bit better than us.
It's true. Black don't crack.
I have heard that. All right, well, let's end on that, I suppose.
All right. Perfect.
It ends on black.
I feel like this was a very racial conversation.
It is.
Brought everyone together.
Yeah, unity.
Don't go to the past, and black don't crack.
Yeah, exactly. Things that everyone needs to know about black people.
Oh, and what can we talk about for you? Obviously, Xavier Woods, PhD on Twitter.
Yes. Obviously. And on Instagram. Xavier Woods, Xavier Woods, Xavier Woods, Woods, PhD.
And
Twitter
hopefully
and
seeing you at WrestleMania.
Yes, you will.
All right. We
See me at WrestleMania.
Finish him. Well, we knew when we interviewed Xavier Woods backstage at Monday Night Raw that it was awesome, number one.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. We had a good time. We made fun of the Ascension. We said, let's save this interview because we think something good is coming down the pipeline.
And voila.
Bam. New tag team champions. And we're so damn proud of all three of them.
Yeah, it's great. It's a long time coming for those guys, and I didn't think they were going to be champs this quick.
Nope.
Good on them.
They deserve it, though.
They sure do.
Oh, yeah.
And they got some heat.
I mean, I think that's why they're champs, just to continue that heat.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason, good on them.
Yeah.
And I love the fact they're still trying to keep it fake positive. I'm looking forward to the day when they get just flat out angry and just start like just beating fools up.
I prefer it. I like that they're like, oh, let's try a new chant.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that they're just totally being oblivious to.
It's great. I love Xavier's reaction when they keep saying New Day sucks. He's like,
I'm just loving getting to see Big E be a beast again.
so true.
Yeah. Even though he has to cheat to win. Yeah.
Whatever. You got to cheat to win.
Yeah.
All the greats have.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. That's right.
Well, thing you both said it in unison.
Yeah, we made it up before the show.
Wow,
Never
you
been
guys
said before.
Worked on so many things.
Well, you have to. Now you're leaving.
Oh well, this is a
we gotta
whole new.
create-
Put so much responsibility on my shoulders, Dale.
It truly is a new day.
I give the show 2 more weeks. Anyways, it's unfortunately come to that part of the show. What a show it has been. Not only we just talked to Xavier Woods, Nigel McGuinness, our best friend, just dropped in. And,
What a pal.
What a pal he is. And so, well, Dale, as you know, we've had really nice, touching. I don't want to say memorials. That sounds weird.
Yeah, it does. I'm moving. I'm dying.
I almost said memorial.
Lord.
We had nice tributes to you from all the compadres and ruffians out there, but now it's Chuck's turn and my turn.
Oh.
So, Chuck, whenever you're ready, I would like you to speak from the heart about Dale.
Well, first, guys, I'm sorry to say that Dale lost the loser leaves town match between he and I. So,
You're still the loser. I just lost the leave town part.
Oh, Lord.
I'm on a roll, baby.
But one, doing this show with you has been awesome. I remember when you first approached me about it, and we started plotting out how to do it. And then Johnny came into the mix, and it was a dysfunctional family at first for a while there.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah. It was fun to be in the middle of that.
Yeah.
But now we're like a cohesive New Day unit winning tag team gold, and you're leaving us. But I have a lot of fond memories of doing this show with you, and I'm really excited for you.
Yeah.
For your family, for everything you're gonna get to do. You've been my friend out here for many years now. Remember, Dale and I actually met working on a wrestling project, for those of you that don't know.
Truly our wrestling compadres.
And you might not ever see it.
You probably won't ever see it.
Sad to
It
say.
had some amazing talent on it.
Yeah.
Colt Cabana, Sean Ricker, some other guys that you
so
can
many
see
guys.
on
Adam
WWE
Pierce,
TV
I know,
right
is
now.
part of it. Adam Pierce is part of it, and many other people.
Sammy Callahan.
Sure.
You know, and so we got to see something awesome, and a really cool friendship was born. And been to a ton of wrestling events with you, been to many movies with you, spent time with you and your family, with whiskey, talking about the dog and the drink.
That's true, actually, both. Sometimes simultaneously.
And many phone calls and talks about life. You know, both been through some hard times over the last couple years, and you were always there to help me, and I hope I was always there to help you. And I'm gonna miss you in here, buddy.
Yeah. But on the bright side, we're still going to get you every week.
Yeah.
And on top of that, This Week in Wrestling's going to come back because we have Anson, who's a genius, coming in.
Yeah, Anson's going to join the crew and be my East Coast compadre.
So you guys are hoping to like try to meet up on Tuesday somehow?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Good.
He's in Richmond, so it's only an hour-and-a-half drive. And Payback's in Baltimore, so I think we're going to try and go up there and do that together. See if we can get some interviews or something.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, good. Chuck, that was excellent. Very touching.
Thanks,
Absolutely, buddy.
Now it's my turn.
Oh, boy.
Here we go, everyone. Dearest Dale.
This is growing up compadres music.
I hope this letter finds you well. If you are reading this, I have already been taken by KGB operatives.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's the wrong letter.
How many letters did you write?
No, I'm just kidding. All right. I'm also not. I didn't write anything. You know, it's interesting. We're 70 episodes in now, and you and I have been friends for almost 2 years. We met in July 2013.
At least 45 of those episodes we were friends.
I counted 43.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true.
But that's still better than half.
There was a SummerSlam episode where you didn't want to be my friend after I became the meme.
That's right.
And you were cut out of the photo.
That's better than the amount Johnny and I have been friends for.
Yeah, exactly.
3 episodes.
Oh, so true. But no, we all have our own individual paths in life, and you never know who you're going to cross paths with. And sometimes we're lucky enough to have someone truly special just jump in out of nowhere, much like an RKO. And that's kind of what happened. We met here, and then we became friends, and then you brought up the idea, like you did to Chuck, about how doing this show, and we didn't know how it was going to be. We just our goal was to put out the best possible wrestling podcast anyone could listen to, and accept nothing less. And we feel like we did that, but then of course, then you establish a great friendship. Like I said, I said on last night on AfterBuzz, I've talked to you more than anybody in my life in the past 2 years, which is amazing. And you're a natural, man. You're a chameleon. You could do a million different things. You're a natural host. I didn't know you hadn't done hosting before 2 years ago, because you jumped right in off the cuff, hilarious. You crack me up, and I never laugh at people. And so I'm very, very proud to call you such a great friend, and I'm very grateful for everything for the past 2 years. But we ain't going anywhere.
Nah.
We still got this show.
I'm going to be a floating bobblehead right back there.
That's right. That'd be great if
Can
we
we
just had
make
your
him
head
shake? Or like the bouncing Dale?
I just want to have your head floating.
Just like a screensaver?
Yeah. Can we make Steve, can we make a screensaver Dale head? That would be amazing. Okay, he says, yeah, possibly.
All right, great. Yeah.
Oh, dude, if we can.
He actually made the icon that I use for Twitter.
See, no, he's amazing.
The best for business.
So
I still use that. By
So
the way.
from now on, if we can get you as a floating head, I mean, only onward and upward from there.
No, I think it needs to be like Dale's head and Anson's head in there, and they're like bouncing off of each other like those old screensavers.
Like a game of Pong back in the day, just bouncing around. Oh man, that'd be perfect. But no, man, I mean, just the outpouring of love from all our listeners, and we have a hell of an audience now. It's grown so much in the past 70 episodes. We're so grateful for all of you, and everyone's so grateful for you. It's not going to be the same, but we still are going to continue to grow the show, and we're going to try and make the best we can. And now we have options to get interviews and stuff on 2 coasts.
Yeah, I mean, the show will just be twice as good, really. And I mean, I don't want to go. This isn't something I'm necessarily, but opportunity knocks. You gotta
take it, man.
Yeah, exactly. You guys did work on stuff before the show. Not letters, apparently. But
I mean, come
just
on
fake
now.
letters. I like that you have a pseudo.
I did write my fake KGB letter. I wrote
like
that
that.
down
I
because
like
you know, I
that.
have to read it.
Yeah.
Come on, do you really? This is me we're talking
I've
about.
never
Do
seen
ever
you write down anything.
now?
No, I don't think so. Can you
the heart,
write,
man?
I'm sure. But thanks. I mean, this has been awesome. I mean, I can't say enough about how great this was of a journey for all of us. I feel, and just for like getting to know the entire community of wrestling fans too. Like how many people we had great conversations with that I would have never had we not started this show.
Not even just that, you know, so many people in wrestling look at our show as one of the best, and we feel like it is, and they want to talk to us about their career and about their lives because they know when we interview them, it's going to be fun, and it's not just going to be business. It's going to be just like hanging out and having coffee with someone.
Yeah, and
That's really
so many
cool.
dreams came true during this whole.
Jesus.
It's only been a year and some change, and we've talked to so many different people that I've looked up to, and Mick Foley spent a whole hour with us in the studio. I mean, we could go on for ages just talking about who came in here, but it's been pretty awesome, and there's already a bouncing head.
Wait, why does it say 15 years?
I didn't die. God damn it.
Are you only 15?
I'm only 15.
You've been lying the whole time. There's a
I've been taking
bobblehead.
some growth hormones.
Jesus, man, you on that HGH?
Yeah, it doesn't affect my muscles, unfortunately.
My God, that is terrifying. It is terrifying.
My eyes look kind of dreamy there, though.
Yeah.
Whoa!
You got the Roman Reigns contacts in, man.
Whoa! Hey, those are my real eyes, and those are his real eyes.
Oh, sure they are.
They are not, maybe.
So, yeah, what a show it's been. With that said, Chuck, put yourself over.
Guys, you can find me on Twitter at crice17. You can find me on Instagram at Chuck Rice, and you can check out some new episodes of the On Your Mark show coming soon.
Hey,
right, Johnny?
Yeah, oh yeah. They're
Very
gonna
funny
be good.
stuff.
They're going to be very good, Dale. Actually, no. You're going to close out.
Okay, great.
I got something simple. Pittsburgh Improv. I'm headlining May 13th. If you're anywhere in the area, please come see me. I'll find a way to get you super cheap tickets. And I'm also there.
free.
Yeah, probably for free. I'll also be there the 14th to the 16th with a very funny Brad Williams. Also, go to facebook.com/thethumbwrestler. Please give me a thumbs up. It's my film I'm submitting to every festival I can afford. So
That thing's finally done, huh?
Oh, it's been done. It's been done about a month, and I've submitted to 9 festivals. Got to keep
Wow.
it going, and fingers crossed people like it.
Thumbs crossed, I think you mean.
Thumbs crossed.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead,
Do
Dale.
you win, Johnny?
There's the team right here. We improv.
Does the thumb wrestler win?
I can't give away the
Hello.
ending. It's a feel-good story. Let's put it that way.
I am The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me with lots of photos of the Lincoln Monument and maybe some museum stuff. I'll be doing wrestling poses in front of all the nations.
I think you need to take like a wrestling action figure or a wrestling buddy and take pictures everywhere like they did in that phone commercial where the dad has like the teddy bear showing the daughter the pictures all over the world.
Did they ever make a Nigel McGuinness action figure? Did that ever happen?
They should have.
Was there one?
I think there's one out there somewhere.
We'll make
We
a
need to
custom one.
find one, get it, and we need you to take Nigel on a tour of Washington, D.C.
Nigel tours the Capitol. That's, you know, I
That
did
would be
that with,
hilarious.
I had a figure of the Mountie, and I used to take the Mountie everywhere and take pictures of him.
Yes, I heard about it 30 times on our way to WrestleMania.
Yeah, I love the Mountie. God damn it.
I like that he's bitter about that, but he slept all the way back.
He did. And I also had to wait. I had to pull over 3 times just to jump around the car to stay awake. It was awesome. What
Horrible co-driver.
What a trip it was. I told him, I'm like, Chuck, go to sleep. I
I
got
offered
this.
to drive.
Did you?
I offered multiple times, and I said, you know what? F it. You ain't gonna let me. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, your car's got a smooth ride, so I was like, I'll drive it. It wasn't a nice ride. It was smooth.
Yeah, okay.
Just
Like
saying.
me. Like me.
All right, see, I knew something weird was going to happen.
Boy.
Let's get out of here.
Get out of here. You don't want to find your pipe.
Finally, I agree with a great colleague once in my life.
Oh, one day we'll call him again. Well, Dale, as you embark on a new day to Washington, D.C., I think there's only one music that can take us out. So with that said, we love you guys at Wrestling Buds, Facebook.com/Wrestling Buds. Please subscribe. Please get our show out to as many people as you can. We need you. We want the show to keep growing. With that said, Dale, we love you. We're going to miss you in studio, but we're going to see you real soon. And why don't you say something prophetic to close out the show?
My bobbling head will be headed your way next week.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
On the right road, on the right track, on the right road. In the future that we all know.